I put together just like kind of a little 5-10 minute kind of warm up that you guys can do at the start of the day, midday, whatever. After a break, if you're feeling a little tight, if anything's bugging you, your hips are a little bit sore. So first thing you guys want to kind of start with is just get a little bit of blood flow. Just get like a set of 10 squats in, okay? Don't worry too much about the form. You guys aren't loaded. It's not a big deal if you guys are a little wonky, whatever. Just kind of hang out at the bottom a little bit if you want. Feel it stretch a little bit, kind of chill. Try to keep your feet tight. Think about kind of grabbing the ground a little bit, okay? Hang out in there. Set of 10, okay? Next thing you guys are gonna go into, is we call a step over and a step back. So it's important that you guys do this nice and slow. So the leg will come up as high as you can, as far out as you can. Now it's important not to rotate on this hip. We're working mobility just on this one right now, okay? So you're gonna keep it up, out, down, back up, in, down, okay? You're always working at that end range, right? You guys, from what I hear from Brandon, you guys are in some funky positions with the legs up high and stuff like that on roofs. So you want to be able to stabilize these positions. So it's important not to just do this, okay? So nice, slow, up, out, in, okay? Just 5 leg is good. Do them nice and slow like that though. Your hip should actually kind of feel like it's working and burning a little bit, okay? Next thing you guys go into, maybe I'll do it this way so you guys can all kind of see, the elbow on the knee. Okay, you guys are gonna hang out here again, kind of drive those hips down, push that knee out, hang out, find what we say find the corners. Okay, so find the spots where it's tight for you. Maybe you're a little more up here, a little more in, whatever. Play around with these positions and just find the spots that are tight. Find the spots that don't feel so good. Okay, I'm pretty tight and it's early in the morning, so none of it feels good. So I'm gonna try to do this one for you guys. Oh, you're gonna drop to the elbow. So now I've got both hands on the ankle. I'm going to drop to my elbow, I'm going to keep driving this knee out, and again, I'm going to find the corners. Just 10 reps on that's good, okay? You guys will finish it all kind of out by getting a little bit of activation in. So anytime you stretch, if you don't activate any opposing muscles or anything like that, that increase in flexibility will be lost. So stretching is temporary, it does not last. If you get up every morning, you stretch, touch your toes, thinking you're going to get better hamstring flexibility, it's not going to work unless you do something to lock it in. Okay, so what you guys will finish it up with are called glute bridges. So you're gonna lay on your back. You're just gonna squeeze your butt like you're trying to shit your pants. Best way I can describe it. Okay, squeeze at the top for a second, back down. Okay, just like so. Set of 10 on those. Then you guys will get into. I gave you guys kind of 3 options on this. You can do what's called a dead bug, a plank, or a side plank. I'm sure everybody's done a plank. We'll run through it anyways. Again, pick one of them. Do all 3. Doesn't really matter. Okay, dead bugs, you're gonna be like so. Okay, you're gonna lock your core in. So think about sucking your stomach in and then dropping your ribs down to your pelvis. Okay, so I'm pushing my lower back into the ground right now. Okay, I'm gonna stay in that position and then I'm gonna extend opposite arm, opposite leg. Again, no arch in my back. I don't want to lose this tension here. Okay, and then I'm just gonna pull back. Alternate sides, okay? When you guys do the plank, if somebody tells you they can plank for 3 minutes, they're not creating enough tension, okay? I don't plank for longer than 20 seconds at the most. Squeeze everything as tight as you get when you do your plank. You're gonna get a lot more strength out of it. And it's gonna lock these positions in better. So, to start a good plank, think about elbows underneath the shoulders. When you're down here, it's obviously gonna be a little bit behind. Squeeze your fists together.
Does anyone have any specific issues or areas they want to talk to Jeff right now about? Because he's
shoulder mobility.
Shoulder mobility you guys are struggling with. So
yeah.
what kind of stuff bugs you?
Any movement within my rotator. It's not like just kind of lots of movement like this lateral, I guess.
Anything coming up?
Yeah.
Or like anything over?
It's not too bad.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
So with something like that, you'd likely want. If you can do anything to loosen up the upper back. So if you got a tennis ball at home or anything like that, stick it on the ground, lay on it, move around that shoulder, right? Just get some motion, find the spots that feel kind of sticky. You can lean it up against the wall too. Dig that ball into the upper back, get some motion in there. The reach on the mountain climber, that'll help. It'll kind of open up, thoracic spine. Generally shoulder issues are caused from tight pecs, weak upper back, and then a tight thoracic spine being like big belly button to the base of your neck kind of thing. A lot of people are kind of locked in like this. They don't move well here, and if you don't, your shoulder mobility is going to struggle too. So think about kind of opening that up. A ball on the lacrosse back will help a ton, and then also, if you can get in if you're doing anything at the gym, it's definitely gonna help, right? If you can strengthen that shoulder girdle, that's something to say. Here's one for you actually. This one we call a push-up plus. So this, any of you guys are struggling with shoulder issues, this one will help quite a bit. So all you're gonna think about is pinching your shoulder blades. My elbows don't bend. I'm just gonna squeeze my shoulder blades and let it push away as far as I can. That make sense? When you're doing that, think about that shoulder staying nice and tight around you, right? You see people with their kind of scapula sort of winged out where it looks like this. Not a good thing. That should all stay nice and tight, push away, keep tight. It's about the best I can give you for, you know, a quick kind of warm up there. Ankle mobility gets a little bit trickier. As far as the hips, all the stuff we just did should open you up pretty good. If you're having specific trouble with the knees, now where does it bug you on the knee?
Well, mainly inside, but like in the back, and just feels like it's on the joint. It's like,
Okay.
if I, yeah.
Okay.
That's about it.
The glute bridges will help too. This is another thing. Glute bridges, if you guys are having any kind of hip problems, knee problems, anything like that, glute bridges are almost like a magic here. They work real good. I tell a lot of people, I'm just like, do 100 every day. So extra of those will help a little bit. Stretching with the hip flexors will help a little bit. Another one you can try, only if it doesn't hurt, you can even try it right now if you want. We call them Hindu squats. So feet are gonna be hip width apart. You're just gonna come down nice and slow. Importantly, you come down slow, because it is hard on the knees, but in a good way. And you wanna come all the way to the bottom, and then just nice and slow squeeze up, okay? If you get into this bouncing, no good, right?
Yeah.
But just nice, slow, only go as deep as you can, okay? And just hang out there, and then squeeze back up. The slower, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep doing those, eh? Just
Yeah, it'll help get blood flow in
Strengthen.
there, and yes, like people get a little freaked out when they think, like, everybody says, not everybody, but a lot of people are still saying don't squat with your knees over your toes. Not the case, right? It's different if you're squatting a bunch of weight and you're doing like this kind of shit. Yeah, okay, not a good idea, right? But when it's nice, controlled, slow, it's what you want. Yeah. Anything else?
Like lower back pain.
Lower back pain is usually hips. So all that kind of stuff, most of what we just did for hips is going to loosen up anything in the lower back. Everybody always thinks, like, how do I stretch my lower back? You don't. You don't want to stretch your lower back. Those muscles aren't really meant to be stretched, right? What happens is when the hips are locked up, they start pulling on everything a little bit funky, right? So then those muscles get tight trying to pull everything back. So when you loosen up the hips, that's going to be your best bet. Same thing I told Trent, if you have like a cross ball or a tennis ball, anything like that, you can get on the ground, you can stick it under your butt, and then you can take this leg over top. So imagine I had a ball underneath me and I just kind of roll back and forth. It is gonna hurt, like a lot. Does not feel good at all. But if you get that and you loosen up those glutes, that's the biggest muscle in the hips, right? It's gonna loosen up the hips quite a bit. That'll be good for backs. I'd imagine all you guys get tight backs. Office included, I would think, probably. Roll those glutes, bunch of hip work. That'll help with the low back.
Mid-back tension.
Mid-back tension?
Yeah.
Same thing I said with Trent, stick the lacrosse ball in the back. That's the best thing that you can do for that. There's not really, again, like, people always want to stretch their back. You don't stretch your back. It's just not the way that it works, right? So you can loosen it up with that kind of soft tissue stuff. And then the more you work it, the better. So if you're doing those push-up plus kind of stuff, getting a little bit of squeezing in your upper back, that's the best you can do.
So what you said for Trent, like for us who are sitting at our computers all day.
If
Same.
you guys can loosen that stuff up too.
Yeah.
The other thing too is like, so specifically for office workers, because you guys tend to be
Yes.
rounded out quite a bit, if you guys, I mean, if you have a band or something like that, cool, you can do some different kind of exercises. If not, I would probably say the best thing for you guys is, I mean, you can even do it at your desk, just without trying to arch your back too much, just squeeze your shoulder blades back as tight as you can and just hold it for 10 seconds. Relax. Try not to go up, just squeeze back. And you just pinch that for 10 seconds as tight as you can and relax. Do that like, maybe 5 times throughout the day and it'll help quite a bit actually. It's surprising. If you want to make it a little bit tougher, you guys can lay on the ground and you can even get into these kind of positions. And again, squeeze back and just hold 10 seconds. You can do different things here. And just hold those kind of positions. Just like squeeze. That's kind of the best you can do with that.
That's good, yeah.
Other than that,
You could probably make phone calls.
the other problem with the office desk is tight hip flexor. So that kind of hip stuff that we did would be good for you guys too.
Sweet.
Anything else? Nothing.